Today I finished work early and I went to see Red Sparrow. And this is a movie that I didn't know I needed until I saw it. If you are female, go to this film, please. Straight up, that's pretty much all I have to say. There will be some significant spoilers as part of this review, so if you haven't seen the film, go now and then get back to me. General overview of this film. It is about a Russian girl who was a ballerina. She gets grievously injured and can no longer dance. And so her uncle, who is high up in Russian intelligence and Russian government, enlists her to help him investigate someone who is maybe supposedly danger to the Russian state. Ends up killing him, and she's a witness, and now she has a choice. Either die, because that's what they do to witnesses who realize that the government is killing its own people, or become a Sparrow, which is basically this ultra elite spy force. Sort of like, the superhero y'all might have heard of, called Black Widow. It's a similar idea. She clearly chooses to live and become a Sparrow, or this would be a very short movie. But that's the moment that it becomes a great film. So sparrows are taught how to use their bodies to seduce and sort of how to give guys what they want. And it's very clear from the way that they do the training that the women are supposed to submit, are supposed to give their bodies freely in order to get the guys, not all guys, but mostly guys, to do what they want. And immediately Dominika, which is the main character played by Jennifer Lawrence, rejects this idea. And it's very clear immediately that she is in this for herself, that she is darn good at it, and that she's gonna turn everything on its head. And throughout the entirety of the film, it is hard to tell whose side she's playing. She meets up with an American, claims that she's going to turn on Russia for them, as long as they take care of her mother. Her mother is sick, which is part of what contributes to her agreeing to all of this. But then she's back with the Russians and saying that she's just enticing the Americans to pay attention to her, and you are really just not sure all the way up until the end whose side she's on. Spoiler alert, she's basically on her own side. And one of the things that I loved about this film the most was the fact that in that first encounter, the first time that her uncle forces her into this sort of undercover thing, the man asks her to strip in the hotel room and proceeds to rape her. And then from that moment on, despite the fact that she has clearly been taught through the Sparrows that sex is a way to convince guys to spill their secrets, she does not sleep with anyone except for the one person that she actually seems to have a connection with. And many, many, many times she is presented with the opportunity to sleep with someone. She is encouraged to sleep with someone. She is told that that's what she should do. And every single time she turns it on its head and does something different. And there's this moment where she's standing in front of the classroom with the matron who teaches the Sparrows. And it's her and this guy, and she's told to strip. And he strips and she just stands there. And it's this moment of perfect defiance. And it's her saying that it doesn't matter and that that's not where her power is going to come from. And that she is going to figure out a different way that doesn't fit into that stereotype. And boy, does she. It's pieces that I didn't even notice were in motion until they showed you at the end of the film what she had done. She plays it brilliantly. Jennifer Lawrence does a fantastic job with this character who is weirdly unemotional, but you still feel a really good connection to her. And I liked the way that she played that There's a lot of dark stuff that happens in this film. It's definitely, I think it's rated R and it deserves that rating. But it's an enigmatic character study, and it is a great spy film. It also apparently is based on a book, which I will now have to read. Like, that's it. I'm gonna go find it at the library. Well, I have like 3 books on my docket about films that are coming up, but I'm going to go find it at the library and add it to the list of things I need to read, because this story really interests me and this character really interests me, and I'm interested to see what the book is like and is if she is as awesome in the book as she is in the film. And basically, the end of the film, she comes out, no question, absolutely on top. And she played everyone. And it's just so brilliantly done. And it is this beautiful portrait of a woman in power. And I love that despite the fact that clearly she was trained and told that the only power a woman has is through sex, that is not what she uses most of the time to achieve her ends. She does use a little bit of suggestive nature, but even the one time that she seems like she's gonna sleep with this guy, she says something really mean to him. He punches her in the face and she says, "There's a video camera there, and if you don't do what I want, then I will show that video and get you arrested." Whew, man, it's really, really good. I'm going to give this movie 5 stars because it surprised me in ways I didn't expect. It ended up being way better than I anticipated. Deserves 5 stars for blowing me out of the water. I'm going to highly recommend that you go see it. As I said, if you are a woman, female, you should definitely check this film out. Assuming that you are okay with rated R films. Like, I don't want to force anybody to go to something that they're not comfortable with, but it is a great film. It is a very strong female character. It is an interesting take on the spy story. And I love that even though there are a lot of men involved in her life, this is still a story about her, and she's very centered to it. Also, I don't want to hear anyone ever say again that we can't have a Black Widow film, because clearly it can be done. Because it could be just like this, except, with more Scarlett Johansson. So that's it for this review. Go see Red Sparrow. If you have seen it, please leave a comment and let me know what you thought. If you live in Orlando and you haven't seen it, I have a movie pass and I would love to go see this movie again, so I will go with you. So let me know in the comments and we'll find a time. And I'll see you tomorrow.